We have a new emergency kit that we're going to work on today that we haven't introduced yet this year, so stick with us and see what you need to add for your emergency preparedness. Hi, and happy Monday. This is Vicki with the 411. Here to start week 18 of our 52-week emergency preparedness. So thank you for joining us. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Share with your friends and family and bring them along on this journey. We are having a good time. I am thoroughly enjoying where people are watching from all over the world and the lovely comments that I'm getting from people thanking me for what I'm doing. And I'm doing this because I'm having fun and I'm learning and I'm enjoying this. So thanks for joining us. Okay, week 18, here we are. For our food, we are to add a case of black beans and a case of tomato sauce. So whatever brand you like the best. Now remember, these are going to have a shorter shelf life to them. So you could go with freeze-dried items that have a longer shelf life, up to 25-year shelf life. So that would be for long-term storage. The cans would be for your in-home pantry. For our household items, we haven't talked about this before, but it's talking about packing some medicines. It recommends acetaminophen, which is Tylenol, which is just a name brand, and you can get a store brand name. I do have Tylenol brand, so you can get Tylenol. You'll want to get some ibuprofen, which could be Advil. I think there's some other brand. Advil's just the one that came to my mind for that. But you can get store brand ibuprofen. I usually get mine at Sam's Club. And it says aspirin. Aspirin is used for, it's good to have on, I want to say if you're elderly, but heart attack. If somebody's having a heart attack, it's good to give them aspirin right from get-go. My husband uses the 81 milligram of baby aspirin like every other day. It's kind of like a blood thinner to help you prevent stroke and heart attacks like that. Acetaminophen is a pain reliever and fever reducer. So you'll want to take that if you have fever. Ibuprofen is an anti-inflammatory, which also helps with, if it reduces swellings around your joints and stuff, it kind of helps as a pain reliever. And then it says to take allergy medicine. I keep Benadryl on hand just in case. I had one of my sons came home one day after eating some Chinese food. He goes, "Mom, my face doesn't feel right." And his face was so swollen and distorted that I immediately gave him some Benadryl and took him to the ER. And one of the first things they told me was it was a very smart idea to give him some Benadryl because that really started the anti allergy component part of it. So just good to have on hand when you have that little reaction to something. Okay, for our 72-hour survival kits, it says to do the ready to eat meals, and I'm having a hard time finding good ones. So I'm bringing up the one we did last time. If somebody has found something that's better than this all-inclusive meal, that would be a great idea. I have the meals in a pouch, but you got to have boiling water for those. And if all I have with me is my 72-hour survival kit, I don't have my boiling water. You can add things like trail mixes of any kind. I've got a bag of little fruit snacks in mine, especially if I have any grandchildren with me. You can even add different kinds of beef jerky, beef sticks, or something that goes along with it. But I'm looking for something more in the line of this that's a little meals, crackers, protein to put in mine. So if somebody has a great idea, share it in the comments and I'll be sure to share it with everybody else. Okay, in our emergency money, last week when we closed out the month of April, we had $153 in our kits. We're adding $18 today. It's week 18, which is going to jump us over 170. So that is going to really start taking a noticeable jump in our money. So be sure and get your $18 in there for every household member's kit. Then for our family, we usually talk about things to put in our family tub. We're going to change it up just a little bit today. We are going to talk about a emergency kit for our car. And in this kit, we're going to want to put things like first aid kits, a map, and I've just got the northeastern. Well, I don't know why I got northeastern. I live in the south, so I need to get a new map. Um, just get a map of your area that you can use in case GPS is not available. Says to get some dust masks, and I have these in here, but I also, in my glove box of my vehicles, I have a Ziploc bag of just the regular like medical mask if you need those. So that's a good thing to have in your car as well. Says to have a radio. I'll have this in a Ziploc bag with batteries to go in it. This is not one that's going to put me into my weather channels. I have that one in my actual family tub, but this one here, you'll at least be able to keep up with local news. If you're, you don't have power, you can turn it on, listen to some music to calm people down or whatever. But just a little radio handy. Then it says to have a tool. Now this tool is actually going to go under the seat of both of our vehicles because it's kind of a hatchet, hammer. It's got this cute little safety pouch. Isn't that the cutest little thing? Little safety thing for that little hatchet. I want to have it under my seat just in case I ever had to break a window to get out of my car. I don't want to have to get out. Well, if I could get out and go to the back of my car and get this, then I don't need this to get out of my car. This is going to go under the seat of our vehicles. Not that I ever drive over bridges on lakes and stuff, but you always see the horror stories of people that can't get out of their car when they're underwater. A little fear that I have. And then it says to get a shovel. Now, I know one reason to have a shovel in your emergency kit is if you ever have to use the facilities outdoors, it's good to dig your little hole and bury it. But I found this cute little fold-up little shovel that I think is just darling, and it fit in my bag real easy. So not so hard to carry a shovel in your car when you've got one that'll fold up like this. And then it says to have not smoke detector, have a fire extinguisher. Now, I got thinking about this, and if my engine, something under the hood of my car is on fire, I'm not going to pop the hood and run out there and try to reach my hand under there to open my hood to put out a fire. If my hood's on fire, I'm going to pull over and I'm going to get out of my car and get as far away from it as I can, taking anything that's important in the car with me. But I was driving home one year, after picking kids up from school, and there was a little fire just started in the median of the highway. Just a little fire. It wasn't going far, but I immediately pulled over because I had a fire extinguisher in the back of my van. And I went and sprayed it all on that, and I wasn't sure I got it real good, but I had an 8-pack of little miniature water bottles in the back of my van. So I went out there and I used all those, and I doused it. I called 911 first and told them where I was and that there was a grass fire in the median. So always call 911 first. But then I went to take care of it so that it wouldn't spread. And I got it all out. Fire department got there, and I think they were very bummed that they didn't have anything to do, that I'd already put the fire. I kind of took the thunder out of their day, and but anyway, I felt good that I was prepared. I'm also going to put one of these in the back of my car, and it's one of those blankets that you can pull out and put it over a fire and have it handy. So I've never had to use one of these, but I feel very prepared and very confident that I would be able to do it if I needed to. So just another one of those prepared things, one of those things that I fear a lot too. And it also says to put some of those heat blankets in there, and I've got some foil heat blankets that I'll put in the bag in case you're ever stranded in your vehicle and it's cold or whatever while you're waiting for somebody. You've got something to help you with. Okay, and then the last thing on our water, at the end of the month last year, end of April, we had $25 in our budget to buy a new water barrel. I think one time I mistakenly said when we give you a dollar amount that is for everybody in the family, that is for your envelopes. So if I did, and you've stored a lot of extra money, good for you, but I'm sorry. So as of last week, we had $25 in our barrel budget. So this week we're going to add $10 more, and we're going to add 2 more gallons of water per person. So you should be up last week at the end of April, you should be up to 33 gallons of water per person. That's a lot of water, but you never know when you're going to need it. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching. Get started on that car emergency kit. That's a new thing out there, and I'll have links to all those tools and stuff in the description to help you find what you need. And thanks again for watching. Again, this is Vicki with 411. Be sure and subscribe, share it with your friends, and we'll see you next Monday. Thanks for watching.